Mr. Schuster, you've been charged with driving while your license was suspended in the 3rd degree and for operating a vehicle without the required ignition interlock device and refusing to comply with law enforcement officer. You are on a deferred prosecution in another court.
Seems like not only is he a sovereign citizen, but he's a drunk sovereign citizen.
Still wanted to handle this case up by yourself about it.
You're not my counsel.
Well, the court can say.
Let's address.
We can address Jonathan Schuster, 480525748.
For the record, this man.
Why don't you come up to council table, please, so we can create a record?
No, I don't want to and give you any personal jurisdiction, so I'll stay right here.
No, you'll come to the council table if you would like to be heard and make a record. So you need to come up and turn on the microphone.
No, I don't need to do that for me to be heard.
We are audio recording, so to be heard, you need to come up to the table and sit with the microphone.
You don't have to. I don't have to come up there for you to hear me. You can hear me perfectly fine.
I can hear you, but we are creating a court record, which is audio recording.
Jurisdiction by doing what you said, because you don't have jurisdiction over me. And so, for the record,
Mr. Schuster, I
reserve all rights.
I did put Mr. Parent as standby counsel. Right now, you don't represent yourself. You have standby counsel.
Appoint counsel to me
Well,
without my permission. He has no permission to be my counsel. I am here sui juris, appropriate persona. I, Jonathan Troy Faifuleo Somalia Colin Schuster, am here under fraud, menace, and duress. I have made a special appearance to this court for those reasons. I've challenged the jurisdiction of this court, and you have not answered that challenge.
This guy kind of reminds me of Gabriel of the family Privet, if you recall from a few months ago, where he was constantly throwing down the gauntlet and issuing challenges for shit that has already been decided. This guy, same boat.
And so I have some questions for you.
well, right now,
To answer them?
I am not here to be interrogated by you. You are under the jurisdiction of this. I think you understand and you choose not to take in the information. Okay, well, Mr. Schuster.
I don't understand the nature and cause of what's going on. I don't understand how you can practice law from the bench. I don't understand how you can appoint counsel when I've told you over and over and over again that I'm here sui juris appropriate persona. I'm here of my own right in my proper person. He does not have my permission to represent me in any way.
Well, it doesn't sound like you know how to represent yourself either, which you would
represent myself.
Well, you would. Either you have counsel or you are acting pro se.
Myself. And so, like I have told you, I'm here sui juris appropriate persona. I challenge the jurisdiction of this court. You have not answered that challenge. We cannot move any further until you've answered that challenge. Is this common law jurisdiction, or is this an admiralty maritime jurisdiction?
Either. So,
Right.
Mr. Schuster, this is Carmen McDonald. I'm the prosecutor on this particular case. I think with where we're at right now, as you're being charged with an offense, I can barely hear you, which means the record that you're trying to make is not being picked up and not being recorded. So everything you're saying is not being preserved unless you go to the table up there near the microphone. So that's number one.
For the record,
if you would like,
I will step up so you can hear me better, and I will speak louder. I will speak louder so you can hear me, but I reserve all my rights.
So this is where I, someone who covers sovereign citizens all the time, get a little confused in their script. Most come into court and say, oh, is this a court of record? Oh, are we on the record? We need to get on the record. This guy seems as if he's trying to actively avoid getting on the record.
And I'm speaking much louder than anybody else prior to me has spoken.
Mr.
So
Schuster,
I just want to make sure the reporter can hear me.
You are making legal arguments. All right. You are making legal arguments. They should be preserved for the record. which means it needs to be picked up and recorded.
I will
So-
begin again so that the recorder
You're
can
not
hear me.
choosing to be silent, you're choosing to make a legal argument, so we need to have that on the record.
For the record, I reserve all rights.
You've made that,
I, Jonathan, Troy, Faiz, Olea, Somalia, Toa, Colin, Schuster, have made a special appearance under fraud, menace, and duress. Fiduciary, Jennifer. I've challenged the jurisdiction of this court, which has not been answered. This is a Social Security Sestake trust action, which you are now a real party in interest to. This is a military admiralty jurisdiction under maritime law. However, you must realize that you have no such jurisdiction without also having a valid international contract in dispute.
I would just like to point this out. He's there for what? Driving on a suspended license, not having a blowy thing in his car. None of that took place in the ocean or on a boat, so this whole admiralty, maritime jurisdiction thing, you can just throw that shit in the trash.
I am not aware of having entered in any international contracts, so I deny that any such contracts exist. Will you please instruct the prosecuting attorney to inform the court if there is such a contract? And if so, place it into evidence and explain how I'm party to it and then compelled to perform under it.
Your Honor, I may be challenging 1077 in this case.
Are you like a crazy person?
Yes, in my opinion, he is a crazy person. Old Squishy Gardner in the text there said that 1077 is a competency evaluation and should be a factor in every single sovereign citizen case. And I've been saying that for years.
I understand that the city's bringing up whether or not you're able to proceed in this matter. So whether or not you're able to understand the nature of the proceedings and be able to assist your attorney or to represent yourself, you have to be able to meet that threshold. And the fact that I think it's not that you don't understand, I think it's you choose not to understand and that you have someone giving you information that you are spewing in court. So you're simply off base, but I don't know that it's due to a mental defect
we cannot
that
move
is causing
forward
you to not be able to
to
understand.
challenge my competency because I have challenged the jurisdiction of this court,
We're
and you
not
have
dealing-
not
We're
proved
not dealing
jurisdiction.
in social security or contracts
You
or
have to prove
maritime.
jurisdiction before we can move any further.
So that's just not how it works in this court. And
No,
I don't think
that's
you
how
have
it
the
works.
legal.
You must prove jurisdiction because I have challenged the jurisdiction. If you cannot prove jurisdiction, then I move to dismiss this matter with prejudice.
That's denied.
And so, Jennifer, Miss Jennifer, can you
I'm
prove
Judge Grant, so I'm going to
Jennifer,
have you.
can you establish the jurisdiction? Can you prove jurisdiction?
Okay, so I'm glad that this judge finally addressed it because the last judge in the last hearing didn't. In the last hearing, she let him call her by her first name the entire hearing, and that was that. This judge is finally like, we're not boys, we don't kick it on the weekend, we don't watch football, our families don't hang out, stop fucking calling me by my first name. Thanks. Second, jurisdiction. Did you commit a crime in their jurisdiction? If you check the box yes, congratulations, they have jurisdiction. Second, another thing they like to play for jurisdiction, I'm a foreign national, I'm not a citizen of the United States, your laws don't apply to me, your constitution doesn't apply to me. I hate to break it to you. Let's take somebody from a different... Let's manage to get somebody from the Canary Islands to come over to America and commit a crime. Guess what? They're in that jurisdiction. Just because you're not a citizen doesn't mean you can come to whatever country you want and do whatever you want. It's not how it works.
Ms. McDonald, I don't know that this is him not understanding.
I do not understand the nature or cause.
Well, he doesn't have legal training. So that I think is
That does not
clear.
matter.
Well,
If I'm here sui juris and propria persona, I'm of my own right. I'm in my proper person. You've created a bond on this matter. You've attached my social security to this matter. You're trying to charge my trust without my permission, which is illegal. It's fraud, and I'm not going to stand for that. So you must prove jurisdiction before we can move any further. You've already tried to practice law from the bench, which is illegal. You cannot do. You've tried to assign counsel when I've given no power of attorney to anybody. And we cannot move further until you've proven jurisdiction.
So Ms. McDonald, what I think would be the next steps, I don't know if Mr. Perrin, have you been able to provide any assistance to him on a standby basis?
No, Your Honor, he doesn't want any assistance,
Okay.
so I'd ask to withdraw as.
So we could go through the colloquy, we can provide him with the form for rights. I don't know that he's going to choose to participate in that. But that would be the next step and set it for trial. So Ms. McDonald.
Now, as per usual, here's the question portion of the video. Do you think this sovereign citizen is going to go along with this, or is he going to drag his feet like a toddler when they're told no?
I don't have a problem setting it for trial. If he's going to waive counsel altogether, then I think we need to have him sign the waiver of right to counsel.
Absolutely. I'm just
Yeah.
saying I don't know that he's going to participate in that process either.
Right. No, I understand
We have
that.
speedy trial at
It is the
August
burden
9th.
of the state to prove jurisdiction. The prosecuting attorney has not done that. And so what we have here is we need to dismiss this matter with prejudice. And I motion to dismiss this matter with prejudice
Denied.
based on the fact that the prosecuting attorney has not proven jurisdiction.
Mr. Schuster, would you like to sit at this table away from council so that we can hear you on the
This isn't
microphone?
counsel.
Well, you could sit at this table if you'd like. There's a pen and a form and a microphone for you if you'd like.
We cannot move until jurisdiction has been proven.
Yeah, this should be a,
You have failed to prove in jurisdiction.
Jurisdiction is something that we prove at trial. It is a factual issue as well.
We cannot move any further until jurisdiction has been proven. And none of you have done that.
So Mr. Schuster, did the court say that was end of August, or?
it was August 9th is speedy trial.
So
And if you plan on having me back here, you're taking away from my ability to provide and work. And I cannot just be coming back here because it takes my time away from working. And so if you want me back here, it seems that you have Zoom court available. I'm more than happy to make a special appearance via Zoom, but you're taking away my time and freedom to provide for my family.
If you truly wanted to provide for your family, you would get the shit fixed with your car and get your license reinstated, but that's too much work for a sovereign citizen. Second, Zoom court normally is for low-level tickets, low-level shit like that. And every single time we've seen a sovereign citizen in Zoom court, they act up. Now, if this guy's acting like that in court with the judge right there, what makes you think he's not going to act up on Zoom court? I don't think he should get it.
does the August term start August 6th, Your Honor?
It does.
So I would request we set it during August term.
All right, so Mr. Schuster, you've been charged with driving while your license was suspended in the 3rd degree and for operating a vehicle without the required ignition interlock device and refusing to comply with law enforcement officer. You are on a deferred prosecution in another court. And, you know, the consequences are extreme for you. You are subject to
have
another
to-
court and they could very well,
Get in trouble, and you have to prove jurisdiction. You haven't done that, and you failed to do
obviously
that
you
over
believe
and
that
over and
courts
over
do
again.
have
And so, I
jurisdiction
mean,
over you.
Obviously, you have to be able to prove it, and you haven't, and you can keep pushing it and doing this, but it's just a waste of time for everybody. I definitely understand that this is not what you think it is. And this is just a waste of time at this point. So whatever you need to do to prove jurisdiction, but I know you can. So if you want to waste more of everybody's time, go ahead, because obviously I'm not going to allow you to threaten me anymore, which you've done.
Nobody's threatening you.
Yes, you're telling me if I don't appear, that you're going to put me into captivity. And that's ridiculous for what's going on here.
It sounds like someone's been listening to the Chili DeCastro jailhouse phone calls a little too closely.
That's absolutely ridiculous. And so
I don't think
this matter
anyone
needs
is
to be
told that they're
dismissed
being
with
put into
prejudice.
captivity.
And whether we need to take this to trial or whatever y'all need to do to prove jurisdiction, I mean, go ahead. But obviously you can't prove jurisdiction. So
So I'm looking for the more
waste everybody's
detailed
time, please. Waste
counsel
everybody's
waiver.
time. It's absolutely ridiculous.
I don't know that he's done that yet,
No, he hasn't. I have a streamlined version, but I want him the formal,
the detailed one.
the detailed one.
We can also, Your Honor, just set it for trial today, with an intervening pretrial, provide him with that document and, enter the waiver at the next hearing prior to, allowing counsel to withdraw.
All right.
Counsel should have never been appointed because I've never gave my power of attorney to this counsel. And obviously you did that to practice law from the bench,
No, it's because you have a right to counsel.
Miss Jennifer, which is illegal. You cannot do that.
Mr. Schuster, you're charged with a crime that has potential jail consequences and fines.
Ms.
And so
Jennifer,
your rights need to be
have-
protected.
Her-
This is for your
nobody-
benefit.
There is no injured party. There is no sworn complaint of an injured party. This is absolutely ridiculous. It's a waste of everybody's time. And you're taking away my ability to work over and over and over again. And I won't stand for you violating my rights. And if you're gonna acquiesce, then okay, you're proving that you don't have any jurisdiction.
So this is a detailed advisement, should you wish to waive your right to have counsel present and you want to act as your own attorney.
I've said over and over again that I'm here sui juris and propria persona. You know what that means.
This case is going to be going to trial, so you need to have counsel. If you,
I'm here of my own right in my proper person. You know what that
so
means.
there's the form.
I've
for you
never
to-
signed my power of attorney away to anybody, especially this.
You need to be respectful.
I-
You are
I-
really out of
I
line,
said
Mr.
this. I
Schuster.
didn't say anything disrespectful.
You are being
This
very
person-
disrespectful.
You
to
were
the
being very
court.
disrespectful, actually,
the court
because
and to Mr. Parent.
you're violating my rights.
So I'm
forcing
going
me
to set
to
this on
come
for
in
the
here
August term. I'm going to have you take this form.
Wasting my time.
Mr. Schuster.
When you're taking away my
I'm going-
ability to provide and work. Because
Have a
this is
seat there so
free-
you can fill out
free
this
place.
form.
What's that?
You can have a seat there so you can fill out the form.
You're dismissed. Do you need anything else?
Yes, I do. I need you to take that form. So we're gonna have to go through that because this case is gonna be going to trial. It's gonna be set on the August term. That would be August 6th, and that will be at 9 a.m.
All right, you're dismissed.
So instead of him doing what the judge asked, and hey, let's go through this piece of paper line by line to make sure that you are competent to do this, and at the end, sign it to say, I can't say mistrial, I can't appeal because my lawyer was shit, which was him. That's what the judge is trying to do. And in response, you're dismissed. That's not how it works. You're not the judge.
No, you're not free to leave yet, Mr. Schuster.
I'm not free to leave.
Not yet. No, you're not.
Why am I not free to leave?
Because we are still addressing your matter.
This matter needs to be
Yeah,
dismissed.
it's not going to be dismissed right now. So
That's
right now it's getting
dismissed
set
because
for
you can't
trial.
Move any further until you prove jurisdiction.
And the readiness hearing will be July 31st, and that will be at 2 p.m. And that hearing, Mr. Schuster, is on Zoom.
Any jurisdiction over me whatsoever. I've not pleaded. I've not given you personal jurisdiction.
Yes.
And you practice law on the bench.
So, Mr. Schuster, if you
Over
choose
and
not to
over.
come to your court hearings, a warrant will
over
issue
and
for
over.
your
And you're
arrest.
threatening me again, telling me
Yes,
if I don't
you will be
play your
expected
game,
to appear.
and you just said yes. Oh my goodness. That if I don't play your game, you will put me in captivity. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yep, these are jailable offenses, but for this
Absolutely
hearing,
ridiculous, Ms.
we need
Jennifer.
your presence to appear.
Absolutely ridiculous.
All right, let's get a court date form for him.
Absolutely ridiculous.
What's the date for the intervening pretrial?
Um,
There are tissues back there?
We can set a pre-trial. Let's do it on the 22nd.
Prosecuting attorney also needs to provide any contracts that I've entered into internationally,
Here's your court date. Could you
Uh,
please sign? for that?
especially if this is a admiralty maritime jurisdiction. Which obviously by the gold fringe flag it is, so.
Mr. Schuster, you are in a criminal court and there are court rules. If you wish
Criminal
to
matter,
have.
this is a criminal matter, you said?
Mr. Schuster,
This is a criminal matter?
if you wish to have discovery, then you need to abide
You
by
said
the
this is
rule.
a criminal matter?
Yes, and if you
Yes,
wish to have,
it's a-
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure you said that. Thank you.
it's a criminal matter. If you wish to receive discovery, then you will need to make.
What is the jurisdiction? Are we under an admiralty maritime jurisdiction?
No, we are not. Mr.
Are we under a
Schuster.
common law? What jurisdiction are we under?
We are under the criminal jurisdiction of the state of Washington. So if you wish to have discovery,
Not a
then
jurisdiction.
you need to request.
I gave you my permission to be under that jurisdiction, which I haven't.
I know this might sound crazy, Mr. Sovereign Citizen, but you don't need to sign a document. You don't need to sign on the dotted line to fall under the jurisdiction of the Constitution.
You will need to request discovery from the prosecutor's office.
I'm a U.S. citizen, American national. That's not a jurisdiction.
If you wish to have discovery, you need to request it in writing from the prosecutor's office, and we will
You said
send.
your nationality was a U.S.
And then we,
Is that what you
and then
said
we will,
earlier?
and then we will send you the discovery,
Not nationality.
all of the evidence that we have against you at trial. Did you understand that?
I don't understand what's
Okay.
going on with this.
So-
This is ridiculous.
Here's my
Kangaroo
suggestion,
court.
Mr. Schuster.
Kangaroo
Mr.
court. And so
Mr.
since you
Schuster.
guys are gonna waste everybody's time even more, goodbye.
Mr.
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 Schuster, you
Schuster.
need to sign for your court dates. I'm giving them to you orally.
You have a good day. Talofa.
If you don't appear for your court hearings that were given today, a warrant will issue.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say, yeah, he's probably going to get a warrant. I don't think he's going to show back up. This is typical sovereign citizen stuff. They get it to the end, realize oh my God, my script I bought from the internet isn't working. What do I do? Not show up to court, run, and hope they don't get you for a warrant, which, if you guys have seen Broken System, Broken Trust, they always get them. They always pick them up from their warrants. Then they show up to court and go, oh, I didn't know. You clearly knew. It's on video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.